All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with a very interesting 22 long rifle pocket gun. This is the Taurus TUC 22, and as soon as I saw it released, I knew I had to get my hands on one. I put in my request with the rep at Taurus, and these guys were nice enough to send this out to the channel for me to review, so a big thanks to them. Now, the cool thing about Taurus is they are not new to making 22s, and they're also not new to making tip-up barrels, but they sure have modernized this one to almost the really perfectly ergonomic tip-up barrel pocket 22 design. We're going to be talking about some of the pros and cons inherently of a tip-up barrel gun in general, and the overall performance of this down at the range with a wide variety of ammunition. Now, again, I'm no stranger to Taurus, especially Taurus 22s. In fact, I've got 3 or 4 of the TX 22s in various configurations. They are one of the absolute best 22 kind of full-size pistol on the market, in my humble opinion, especially at the price. And this one is no different when it comes to pricing. This one does come in at a great value. Now, for more information, you can always head over to the campsite, but let's take a deeper dive into this 22, and part of that is ammunition used. And this is where I want to give a huge shout out to Target Sports USA and their Ammo Plus membership service. I'm a huge fan of these guys. They're a great supporter of the channel, and all the ammo used came from Target Sports USA. Again, I greatly appreciate them. Now, this does have an approved ammo list, and you may want to stick to that list or at least experiment. But when you're carrying this, in my opinion, you should run CCI mini mags, CCI stingers, or CCI velocitors. Federal Punch may also be a great option, but make sure you try any defensive carry ammo before you try it. And you may say, defensive carry? Why would you ever defensive carry a 22? And kind of let's get into the purpose of this handgun. The purpose of this handgun, in my opinion, is for somebody who can't necessarily handle the recoil impulse of something like a Pocket 380, but still wants a manageable pocket or smaller size firearm for personal defense. Now, with the advancements of a lot of different defensive rounds in the 22 long rifle world, I believe this would be a pretty decent option, especially if you couldn't handle the recoil impulse of a stronger gun. There is almost no recoil impulse to this gun when firing down at the range, and the fact that you can get most of your fingers on this is a great option as well, because you can manage and control the gun under what little, if no, recoil there is, so it would make this a good option for somebody who is heavily recoil sensitive. Now, the mode of operation on this pistol is simple. You simply load 9 rounds into the magazine because that's what fits. The magazines are metal with a polymer base plate, and they do have these tabs that you can pull down and load, which is actually really convenient, especially, again, if we are talking about someone who has limited hand dexterity to operate a normal type of slide mechanism. You can also run like an Allen key or a screwdriver in here and then pull that down while loading, and this is a well thought out magazine design, especially when you consider what this is designed for. Now, again, we are talking about somebody who can't necessarily handle the recoil of a 380, probably also can't rack the slides of a lot of different firearms, so this makes it simple. It's got a large tip-up lever. You press it, the barrel flips up, you load the round in, you close it down, and then you are good to go. No need to rack the slide. Now, for me, I don't mind racking the slide, and this is not, I think, really designed specifically for somebody like me, but I'm real excited about it because more options on the market are better. A lot of those Beretta tip-ups were incredibly popular for concealed carry, but they are very thick and bulky. This one is a little bit slimmer profile, so it actually slides into your pocket a little bit easier. It's also lighter weight, being a polymer frame. It's more ergonomic because of the texturing on the side and the beaver tail. You can also get a full grip, and with 10 rounds in this little guy, it's pretty darn awesome. Now, the trigger guard is large enough to use in most applications, even with potentially gloved fingers, but not overly large where you're going to accidentally pull the trigger. And with that being said, if you are carrying with one in the chamber in your pocket, I would highly recommend a Kydex or really good soft pocket holster, as well as don't carry anything else in your pocket with the firearm other than the firearm and the holster. Now, the trigger on this is pretty long. I will dry fire this one time on camera and show you guys the trigger pull. So you can see the hammer coming back, still coming back. You almost hit kind of like a defined break point, and then you have the break. Now the recent on this guy is also very long, but it does click and you do feel it. So when you're firing this gun, sometimes it may be easy to kind of short stroke that, like pull it, let go, and pull it again in a panic scenario. You have to remember to let all the way out, and that's probably one of the cons of this gun. The fact that the trigger is so long, but it's also a pro of this gun. You're not going to accidentally pull this trigger in your pocket when you're drawing out of a pocket holster. So there are gives and takes to every single concealed carry firearm, but especially a tip-up barrel design. The other thing about a tip-up barrel design is there's some other smaller 22 pocket pistols on the market, and this is not the smallest there, but I believe it's kind of designed around that constraint. A good little EDC 22 that works and works well. Now, when it comes to reliability, we did mention earlier in the video that there are certain ammos that this likes and doesn't like. Your results may vary, but I found that it actually runs a lot of bulk pack just fine. It ran most ammo just fine, but occasionally with that lower powered, weaker bulk pack 22, you will get a stovepipe occasionally. Now, it's very easy to clear, but just know when you're running CCI mini mags, stingers, velocitors, federal punch, that high velocity stuff, it runs like a champ. But when you're carrying this, you should be carrying that stuff anyway, not bulk pack 22, because inherently, a lot of times bulk pack 22 will just have issues with the ammo itself, and you don't want to be carrying that stuff at all. There's really no excuse not to be carrying some better ammo in your pocket 22. So I hope that gives you a kind of good overview of the gun. It shot well down at the range. It was very accurate, even with that long double action trigger pull. The sights are really nice to acquire. Super high vis front sight. Cutout U-notch on the rear. Good serrations if you did want to chamber around. It's definitely possible. And really, I like this. I like this a lot. It's a pretty cool piece. Now, will I be personally carrying this 22? I feel like for me, the only application in my particular collection, because I only carry pocket 380s for personal defense, would be like a camp gun, a little truck gun, a little varmint getter, something like that on the land. I could definitely see this being a nice little carry piece if you're on the trails or something like that, and you're approached by something, need to make some noise, need to scare off something. This would be a great option. But if you are very recoil sensitive, ultra recoil sensitive, I could see this being a great defensive carry if you like that tip-up barrel design. Again, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, more video reviews, and reviews on high value and budget items and firearms that actually work. Again, thanks to Target Sports USA for always supporting the channel, and thanks to Taurus for sending this out. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.